Wait, that shampoo you're using right now, it might be slowly destroying your hair. And I'm about to show you exactly which brands are the worst offenders. You spend good money on hair care, trusting these big-name brands to make your hair healthier and stronger. But what if I told you that some of the most popular shampoos on store shelves are loaded with ingredients that can actually damage your hair, irritate your scalp, and even pose potential health risks? Before you step into that shower again, you need to know about these 7 shampoo brands that experts and dermatologists are warning us to avoid. These aren't small, unknown brands. These are massive companies that spend millions on advertising to convince you their products are the best thing for your hair. But the truth behind their formulas tells a very different story. Number 1, Suave. Let's start with Suave. It's cheap, it's everywhere, and millions of people use it daily without thinking twice. Walk into any grocery store or drugstore and you'll see rows of Suave products lining the shelves. The price is appealing, especially when you're on a budget. A bottle costs just $2 or $3, making it one of the most affordable options available. But here's the problem that most people don't realize until it's too late. Suave shampoos are absolutely packed with sulfates, particularly sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium laureth sulfate. These are the same harsh detergents used in dish soap and laundry detergent. Yes, the same chemicals you use to clean your greasy plates and dirty clothes are being used to wash your hair. These sulfates strip your hair of its natural oils, which are essential for keeping your hair moisturized, strong, and healthy. Without these protective oils, your hair becomes dry, brittle, and extremely prone to breakage. You might notice that your hair feels squeaky clean after using Suave, but that squeaky feeling is actually a sign that your hair has been stripped completely bare. Many of their formulas also contain artificial fragrances and synthetic dyes that serve no purpose, other than making the product look and smell appealing on the shelf. These additives can cause serious scalp irritation, allergic reactions, and even contact dermatitis. Some people develop red, itchy, flaky scalps without realizing their shampoo is the culprit. While the price tag looks appealing at $2 or $3 a bottle, your hair is paying a much higher cost in damage that takes months or even years to repair. The long-term effects include increased hair fall, split ends, dullness, and an inability for your hair to retain moisture no matter what conditioners or treatments you use. Number 2, Pantene. Next up is Pantene, and I know this one is going to hurt because Pantene has been a household name for decades. Many of us grew up watching those gorgeous commercials with models flipping their shiny, bouncy hair in slow motion. Pantene promised us that same beautiful hair, and we believed it. The brand has been marketed as a premium drugstore option with formulas that claim to repair damage and provide salon-quality results. But despite those glossy advertisements and celebrity endorsements, many dermatologists and hair care professionals actively advise their clients against using Pantene products. The main issue with Pantene is its extremely high silicone content. Products like dimethicone and other silicone derivatives are used heavily in almost every Pantene formula. Now, silicones aren't necessarily evil in small amounts. They can provide temporary shine and smoothness by coating the hair shaft. And that's exactly what happens when you first start using Pantene. Your hair looks shiny, feels smooth, and seems incredibly healthy. But this is purely cosmetic and superficial. Over time, these silicones build up layer after layer on your hair shaft, creating a thick coating that prevents moisture from penetrating into your hair where it's actually needed. Your hair might look shiny on the outside, but underneath that silicone coating, it's becoming increasingly dry, weak, and damaged. The silicones also weigh your hair down significantly, making it look flat and lifeless, especially for people with fine or thin hair. Even worse, this buildup extends to your scalp, where it can clog hair follicles and lead to scalp issues like dandruff, itchiness, inflammation, and even hair loss. The only way to remove this buildup is with clarifying treatments or sulfate shampoo, but by then the damage to your actual hair structure has already been done. Many people find themselves trapped in a cycle of using Pantene for shine, then needing harsh clarifying treatments to remove the buildup, which then damages their hair further, leading them back to Pantene for that temporary shine. Number 3, VO5. Third on the list is VO5, another budget brand that might save you a few dollars at checkout but costs you dearly in hair health. VO5 has been around since the 1950s, and unfortunately, many of their formulas haven't evolved much beyond those outdated ingredient lists from decades ago. VO5 shampoos contain aggressive sulfates, parabens that act as preservatives, and formaldehyde-releasing preservatives like DMD. Let's talk about what these ingredients actually do to your hair and scalp. The harsh detergents don't just clean your hair, they obliterate your hair's protective cuticle layer and strip away the natural sebum that keeps your scalp healthy and balanced. Parabens have been linked to hormone disruption and have been found in breast cancer tissue samples, though the direct connection is still being studied by researchers. The formaldehyde-releasing preservatives are particularly concerning because formaldehyde is a known carcinogen according to multiple health organizations. Beyond these scary chemicals, VO5 products contain some of the strongest artificial fragrances on the market. That overpowering smell that lingers in your hair for days isn't a good thing, despite what you might think. Those synthetic fragrances are made up of dozens or even hundreds of unlisted chemicals that companies aren't required to disclose under current regulations. These fragrance compounds are among the top allergens and can cause everything from mild skin irritation to severe allergic reactions, respiratory problems, and persistent headaches or migraines. For people with sensitive skin or existing scalp conditions like eczema, psoriasis, or seborrheic dermatitis, using VO5 can make these conditions significantly worse. The budget-friendly price point makes VO5 attractive to many shoppers, but you're essentially paying for a bottle of harsh chemicals that provide minimal actual hair care benefits while causing maximum damage over time. Number 4. Herbal essences. Herbal essences comes next, and this one tends to surprise people the most because of the incredibly misleading branding and marketing strategy. Just look at the bottles covered in beautiful flowers, fruits, and botanical images. The name itself, herbal essences, suggests something natural, plant-based, gentle, and derived from herbs. You'd think a brand that markets itself this way would actually contain meaningful amounts of natural ingredients, right? Unfortunately, that couldn't be further from the truth. Herbal essences products are absolutely filled with synthetic fragrances that have nothing to do with real herbs or essences. These artificial scents are designed to smell strong and fruity, but they're made entirely from laboratory-created chemicals. The formulas also contain high levels of sulfates that strip your hair, artificial colors that serve no functional purpose except marketing appeal, and various other synthetic additives. Many herbal essences shampoos also contain propylene glycol, which is an industrial compound used in antifreeze and as a solvent in various industries. In hair products, it's used as a humectant and to help other ingredients penetrate the hair shaft, but it's well known for causing scalp irritation, redness, and inflammation, especially with repeated use over time. The real herbal extracts that are included in these formulas are present in such tiny amounts that they provide virtually no benefit whatsoever. They're there purely so the company can list them on the label and continue the misleading natural marketing campaign. Despite all the flowers, fruits, and botanical imagery on the packaging, there's very little that's actually herbal or essential about these highly synthetic formulas. It's essentially greenwashing at its finest, convincing consumers they're buying something natural when they're actually getting a bottle full of chemicals. Number 5. Head and Shoulders. Number 5 is Head and Shoulders, the absolute king of dandruff shampoos and a product that millions of people rely on regularly to control their flaky scalps. If you have dandruff, Head and Shoulders has probably been recommended to you at some point by a friend, family member, or even a healthcare provider. It's been the go-to solution for flaky scalps for generations, with aggressive marketing and widespread availability. But this popular dandruff fighter comes with some serious drawbacks that often make the problem worse in the long run. Yes, Head and Shoulders does contain zinc pyrithione, which is an effective active ingredient for controlling the Malassezia fungus that causes dandruff. That part actually works as advertised. But the problem is, everything else in the formula surrounding that active ingredient. Head and Shoulders contains extremely harsh sulfates that thoroughly dry out your scalp while fighting the dandruff. This creates a vicious cycle that many users get trapped in. Your scalp produces dandruff. You use Head and Shoulders to treat it. The harsh ingredients strip all the natural oils from your scalp. Your scalp becomes even drier and more irritated in response, which leads to more flaking. So you use more Head and Shoulders, and the cycle continues endlessly. Many dermatologists note that their patients become completely dependent on Head and Shoulders because when they try to stop using it, their dandruff returns worse than ever before. This happens because the scalp has been so thoroughly stripped of its natural protective barrier and beneficial oils that it can't regulate itself anymore. The formulas also contain strong artificial fragrances and various preservatives that can cause contact dermatitis and allergic reactions. Some users develop red, inflamed patches on their scalp and hairline that are painful and unsightly. Others experience increased hair shedding, because their follicles are constantly irritated and inflamed from the harsh ingredients. The product does what it promises in terms of reducing visible flakes temporarily, but it does so by creating other problems that can be just as bad or worse than the original dandruff issue. There are much gentler dandruff treatments available on the market today that address the root cause of dandruff without destroying your scalp's natural balance and protective barrier. Number 6. Trimetrism is number 6. And this brand deserves special attention because it's been involved in multiple serious lawsuits related to harmful ingredients that caused real damage to real people. Tresem markets itself as professional salon-quality hair care at affordable drugstore prices. The packaging looks sleek, sophisticated, and professional, and the marketing suggests you're getting the same products that professional stylists use in expensive salons, just more affordable for everyday consumers. But the reality is far more troubling than the marketing would have you believe. Several Tresem products have been found to contain DMD, which is a preservative that releases formaldehyde over time as the product ages and is exposed to heat and light in your bathroom. Formaldehyde is a known human carcinogen, according to the National Cancer Institute and multiple international health organizations. It's the chemical used to preserve dead bodies in mortuaries and funeral homes, and it was being released into products that people were massaging into their scalps multiple times per week for years. The effects were absolutely devastating for many innocent users who trusted this brand. Numerous class action lawsuits have been filed by consumers who experienced significant hair loss, with some people losing substantial portions of their hair or even going bald in patches. Others suffered from painful scalp burns, severe irritation, blisters, lesions, and serious allergic reactions that required medical treatment. Some reported their hair breaking off in chunks or coming out in handfuls while washing or brushing, which was traumatic and distressing. The company has faced intense scrutiny, public backlash, and legal action from harmed consumers. But the damage to people who trusted this brand has already been done and cannot be undone. Even beyond the formaldehyde issue, many Tresem products contain high levels of sulfates, silicone, and artificial fragrances that can damage hair over time with regular use. Number 7. Aussie. Finally, we have Aussie, the fun, playful brand with the distinctive purple packaging and fruity scents that make shower time feel like a tropical vacation or a trip to the beach. Aussie markets itself heavily around being inspired by Australian ingredients and that carefree, beachy, laid-back lifestyle that many people associate with Australia. The branding is energetic, youthful, and appealing to a younger demographic, and the products smell absolutely amazing. That delicious fruity scent is honestly one of the main reasons people are drawn to Aussie products in the first place. But when you look past the clever marketing and actually examine the ingredient list on the back of the bottle, you'll find that Aussie shampoos are loaded with problematic ingredients that contradict the fun, carefree image. The formulas contain sulfates that strip your hair of moisture, multiple types of silicones that create buildup on your hair and scalp, and some of the strongest synthetic fragrances in the entire hair care industry. Those incredible scents that make the product so appealing and enjoyable to use are entirely artificial and are made from complex mixtures of chemicals that don't have to be disclosed individually under current labeling laws and regulations. These powerful fragrances can trigger headaches, migraines, and allergic reactions in sensitive individuals or those with fragrance sensitivities. Some people find that the smell is so strong and persistent it lingers not just in their hair but on their pillows, clothes, towels, and throughout their entire bathroom for days. For people with fragrance sensitivities, asthma, or allergies, using Aussie products can lead to respiratory issues, breathing problems, and skin reactions. The silicones in Aussie formulas create the same problems we discussed earlier with building up on your hair and scalp over time, creating a waterproof barrier that prevents moisture from reaching your hair where it's needed, and eventually leaving your hair dry, damaged, dull, and lifeless despite initially appearing smooth and shiny. While Aussie claims to be inspired by Australian ingredients like aloe jojoba and various botanicals, these natural components are present in minimal amounts that provide little to no actual benefit. The bulk of the formula is made up of cheap synthetic ingredients that provide short-term cosmetic benefits while causing long-term damage to your hair's structure and health. The Australian theme is essentially just marketing and branding, with very little real substance behind it. So after hearing about all these problematic brands and the damage they can cause, you're probably wondering what you should actually be using instead to keep your hair healthy. The good news is that there are much better options available today. And once you know what to look for, making healthier choices becomes easy and straightforward. First and foremost, choose shampoos that are sulfate-free. Look for gentle cleansers like coco-midopropylbetaine, decyl-glucoside, sodium cocoil, ethionate, or coco-glucoside instead. These clean your hair effectively without stripping away the essential oils your hair and scalp need. Avoid parabens, which are listed as methylparaben, propylparaben, butylparaben, or ethylparaben in ingredient lists. Choose products that are silicone-free or use water-soluble, silicones that don't build up over time. Look for shampoos with natural, recognizable ingredients like aloe vera, coconut oil, argan oil, jojoba oil, shea butter, tea tree oil, and other plant-based components that actually nourish your hair and scalp instead of just coating them. Pay attention to brands that focus on scalp health as a priority, because healthy hair truly starts with a healthy scalp. The scalp is skin, and it deserves the same careful, gentle treatment you give the skin on your face. Consider your specific hair type and concerns when choosing products tailored to your needs. If you have curly hair, look for moisturizing formulas. If you have fine hair, choose lightweight products that won't weigh it down. If you have color-treated hair, select formulas specifically designed to protect your color investment. Most importantly, read the actual ingredient list on the back of the bottle, not just the marketing claims on the front. Companies can put almost anything on their packaging to attract buyers, but the ingredient list tells the real story about what's actually inside. Ingredients are listed in descending order by amount, so the first 5 to 10 ingredients make up the bulk of the product. If you see sulfates, parabens, or artificial fragrances in those top spots, put the bottle back on the shelf and keep looking. Your hair is worth the investment in quality products that actually work. The damage caused by harsh shampoos takes months or even years to fully repair, and in some cases, the damage to hair follicles can be permanent and irreversible. Make the switch today to cleaner, gentler products and give your hair the care it truly deserves.